Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game. When we last left off, we have met Sam's grandfather, Panaka. It was kind of ill-looking. So ill-looking that we thought he was dead initially. That would have been a twist. But no, he seems to be quite alive and, well-rested, I guess. The ill-looking elf yawns and takes a moment to stretch out a few kinks. You kids don't even look at a man closely in the face as he sleeps to see if the blood is drained away or not before folding your hands to speak a rosary over him. Humans act in such haste sometimes. Ari gritting his teeth. And you 300-year-old elves speaking just a bit too superior a tongue when addressing us wayward humans. Okay, I'll stop that. Don't mess with me, old man. It hasn't exactly been the best of mornings with me so far. Whoa, let's think this through for a second, Uri. We really need Panaka's help right now, if you will recall. We really should just take his earlier remark with a grain of salt. Ah, so you three are the ones that my grandson informed would be coming to visit me. You have my sincere gratitude for getting rid of the reptilian monster that suddenly appeared in the forest before it caught Sam. Since its terrifying presence seemed to drive the other animals in the area mad, I kept telling Sam that it was way too dangerous to play in the forests anymore, but he's always trying to put on a show of being a lot braver than he really is. We were getting worried by the time a few hours had passed since he'd left the village this morning, but it looks as though we had nothing to worry about all along. Yeah, at least concerning him. We're really sorry about what had happened, old man, and we wish that we had made it out of the forest just a bit sooner to stop Grandis Marwyn from doing what he did. But try to look on the bright side. At least Sam had been gone away from the village to supposedly put himself in danger, when in truth doing so had kept him from getting caught up in the fight. Fight, you say? It had been more along the lines of murder. The elves that Grandis slew did not even have the chance to fight back, and by the time those that did could notch their arrows or summon any magic to their fingertips, the demon was already gone. I think it's more fortunate that my grandchild's innocent eyes were not forever scarred by his having to witness such horrifying cruelty, even more so than the fact that not being here while it was happening spared his life. Some Elvanians would think it better to go ahead and pass away from the world to be brought into Serena's protective embrace, rather than be forced to live in dread of being witness or victim to the terrors that the darkness brings, you know. It is a shame to think that any follower of the light could become so frightened of being taken by the darkness that he or she would lose the will to live and keep fighting that which he or she fears. Grandis already did a sufficient job of instilling fear in the elves all on his own, so I can't imagine how skilled this god of his will be at doing the same thing. God? What god? I don't know for certain myself, but Grandis was yelling some nonsense as he leaped from rooftop to rooftop, blasting panicking elves with magic fireballs about how it was necessary to give the people of Elvania a foreshadowing of the absolute rule of chaos that he and the other Lunas Elru Knights, as well as this god of theirs called the Lord of Darkness, would surely bring to the galaxy, simply so the Elvanians would know not to be so foolish as to rebel against fate in the future. Well, you know, it's either rebel or just die. Between the two, I think rebel's the better choice. This Grandis guy just seems to become in more and more dire a need of a wake-up call the more I hear about his rantings. as well as in need of an exorcist who enjoys a challenge, it would seem. My grandson did mention that you three appear to have somehow transcended the stars all the way over to this world from your own by pure unintention. However, the arrival of both this this Lord of Darkness and yourselves at almost the same time only confirms the last of my fears. The final battle between the light and darkness for all of humankind is about to take place, and this time it is Elvenia herself whose fate hangs in the balance. Well, dang, final battle already? This is only the second stream. We always knew that somewhere out there on the edge of the universe, the Divine Mother and the Devil were constantly struggling over her children and creation to determine whether it is peace or chaos that is fit to eternally rule over this universe. However, the Elvenians have slept underneath a blanket of security and bliss without fear of evil for so long that we never imagined that war in the heavens could come all the way over into this mortal realm. And now the war is here, and Serena is leaving the responsibility in the hands of those she created instead. Even so, most of Elvenia is still unaware that the last harpstrings of her heart's peace are soon to be broken. And so, you see, my children, Uri says, exasperated, let me guess, it is meant to be us three whom this Serena wishes to save Elvenia from the Lord of Darkness for her. Yes, there can be no more doubt. Only the three human children from another world can possibly save this world, Elvenia. Dusk is fire-eyed. Then I shall do my very best to make certain that I become a Knight of the Northern Longblade and save Elvenia. Sigh. This ain't anime, dude. Yeah, sorry about that. Naive hot-headedness, I know. Look, this isn't like some stupid fantasy tale. There is still a fine line between that and what's actually happening to us right here. This is reality. And in reality, one cannot just act so heroic and believe that everything will automatically end as happily ever after as that. If we choose to go up against someone like the Lord of Darkness, even if it is for a nobler purpose like bringing back peace to this world, we could very likely lose our lives and never again return to the world we came from. And dying here in a place that is probably millions of light years away from home seems like a pretty sad prospect to me. You know, I 100% agree. This is why this whole fate thing is complete BS in my eyes. You expect me to save the world? I better have like 100% guarantee, because it's gonna hurt. And yet, there is no other way. Believe me when I say that I wish I knew of a way to simply send you back to your own world this very moment so that you would not ever again have to worry about the plight of a race of creatures whom you never before even knew to exist, but I can't. No one should have to bear a burden this great if they did not ask for it. Nor should anyone ever be forced into a battle that they do not understand if they have no desire to fight. But I just don't know what more I can do to plead for someone to heed everyone here in Elvenia's cry for help. We are scared, and we don't know how to fight back against our fears. Is it really to be left in the hands of these three, Lisa? Did you really foresee that the goddess's world would be saved by those who don't even yet understand that they are her children just as well? I know that you three might think you are just getting stuck in the middle of someone else's struggle, and you are right. This is the Dark Lord and Serena's children's fight, not yours. You have no responsibility for or involvement whatsoever with the past that led up to all this now, nor with the events that are still to come with the war. But still... Look, I don't know about you two, but I cannot ignore this. Not when people right in front of me need help. I don't consider it a burden at all to try to bear the weight of the world on my shoulders if it has earnestly asked me to. Besides, surely you must be aware that the Earth and Elvenia are probably tied to each other, as sisters, I suppose is the best way to put it, in a way that we do not quite yet understand. And so I imagine that were we to refuse helping Elvenia here, then the darkness will next turn its attention to the Earth anyway, and then we'll really be in trouble. For now, all I can say is that we will stay long enough to listen to everything, Panaka, for there is still a lot we don't understand about this world that we've been unintentionally summoned to, or about everything that has occurred in Elvenia's past that would lead her down a path such as this. That's all I can promise for right now. Looking over at the chat right now, hello there 1063, yes indeed, the PS1 version. This game was... Well, first off, this game is Arath. It was created by two people, Lantis and Sarah's Knight, and it is... I'm gonna say this as a way of noting how impressive it is. A very wordy game, considering that RPG Maker 1 does not have keyboard support. Same here with me. That's really all I can tell you, though, my children. I believe that whatever beseeching words may yet remain in my heart can be better communicated to you by the Holy Priestess, however. Listen, take this key with you. It will unlock the entrance to the sanctuary in the northeastern section of the village. There, at the lowest level, will you find a sort of diary belonging to a former friend of mine, known as Holy Priestess Lisa, who passed away long ago, but left the wishes of everyone in Elvenia engraved in both her own heart and in the words that were written into that very book. I am sure that everything will be explained then. Please do not be alarmed at what else you may find along with that diary, though. That's where he buried those who fell at Grandis's hands. Okay, the fact that they actually made a key sprite, considering that RPG Maker 1 only allows 9 custom sprites, is an interesting decision. Especially since most games would just leave it to a message box telling you and not have any graphics. So, kudos on that effort. Alright, where'll go? Thanks for trying to help us, old man. I guess it is only right that we try to do what we can for our sister world, like Dusk said, and I know that it couldn't have been easy for you to make such a plea such as this on behalf of an entire world of people. We'll consider this as sincerely as we know how. Please don't hesitate to come see me if there is anything you think I might be able to help you with on your journey. It might not be too difficult for adventurers not native to Elvenia to get lost on the roads, you know. In that case, my advice would most certainly be sound, my having lived 350 years and all. Really? You elves can live that long? I guess my shot in the dark from when I insulted you earlier wasn't all that far off then. We'll definitely come to you if any questions arise about what to do next in that case then, Panaka. By the way, once you finally depart from Itsuki, I would suggest traveling farther east to another elven settlement known as Meadows. Ill-sounding laugh. Oh wait, I was expecting a cough. Ill-sounding laugh! Although, I think you will find the forest elves' way of life to be a more rural than that of us city elves here in Itsuki. Ultimately, try to find a means of passage to the kingdom that is found south of Lelia, across the mid-ocean, called Cebuline Reef. I'm hesitant to say this, but the main reason I am suggesting this as your intended destination is that the demons whom have begun to roam the fields over that way are said to be far more dangerous than those in Lelia. In anything, I would assume that this fact to mean the farther south one travels, the darker the clouds will he find to be hanging over the land. Thus the closer he will be getting to wherever the shadows are that the Dark Lord waits among. Still, please feel welcome to stay here in Itsuki for as long as you feel that you must rest before beginning your journey. There is just one more request I have, if you would please listen. My children, please continue to take care of Sam for me, whether you choose to fight or not, for as long as you are meant to stay here in Elvenia. Sam really could use friends such as yourselves around. Of course, you've no need to worry about that at all, old man. We'll take care of him no matter what happens. As far as I'm aware, Sam does not die in this adventure, so that's some good news. Okay, so, just to recap for those who have just joined us, these three characters are from Earth and wound up being transported to a fantasy world, where they are now tasked to save it. And Pinaka's fallen back asleep, this time for certain asleep and not dead. That is a very important distinction to make. I definitely like this book here, by the way. Turning people into chickens. It would certainly be something if that wound up coming into play. No, really, it would definitely be interesting. I am a huge fan of transformation, so I would totally enjoy that. Good luck! Wonder if anybody's gonna say anything new. Well, before moving on, I think I will buy a few items here. Ooh, I have less money than I thought. This is risky. I'll buy all I can buy. Nope. You don't seem to be saying anything new. Or do you? Actually, did I talk to you in the first place? I'm not sure I did. Let me talk to you for real. Welcome, humans, to Itsuki, the city of the elves. Although, to be honest, you will not find this village to be in its usual state of joyousness as of now. I am afraid that the last human to pass through here this morning did not harbor the most benevolent of intentions with his arrival. So please try not to be swayed by the general atmosphere of sadness that may still hang about this peaceful village. But I cannot say with much confidence that the Itsuki elves will ever be quite the same from this day onward. Sigh. Perhaps we were lucky that that monster did not stay long enough to take any more lives than what he had. And the village itself still stands, after all. Exile would have been the one tragedy we probably could not have survived. Then how is it that you treat us three humans so readily, Miss Rena? The child who came here just ahead of you, Master Allegra, assured me that we would have nothing to fear from the humans who had unwittingly saved him from the terrible monster that had been roaming the forest. No, his name isn't Allegra. His name is Sam. If you or your friends were anything like that ghastly human stranger from before, Little Master then surely could not have performed such a deed of self-sacrifice. Besides, how could such children as yourselves, who could not be but a few years older than our little Sam, have lost their innocence at such a delicate age? You have no idea how early this can start, being evil. Like, have you ever been in high school before? There are some mean people there. Could you even be capable of the same kind of heinous evil as the man who called himself Grandis? Absolutely. I honor you for your trust in us, Miss Serena. We will try not to cause too much trouble for the elves while we conduct ourselves here in your home. Lynn says, while nudging Dusk while speaking in an undertone, did she just refer to you as Little Master, Dusk? Shut up, Lynn. Okay, I'm going back onto the world map for a moment, because it's been a little bit since I saved, and it is always a good idea in this game to save whenever you have a chance, because you never know what's going to be coming up. With that said, let's go ahead and check out this building now. Oh, but first, I want to check up on you. Not you. Not you. There you are! Now you're more talkative. Psst. Hey humans, if you're running into a brick wall figuring out how to open the door at the bottom of the shrine where the elves have buried Grandis victims, then try studying the order in which the lanterns outside are lit. Now, could you kindly convince the elves that it isn't right to eat chickens who dedicate themselves to helping others like I try to do? Sure thing, dude, and thanks for the Whoa! You're a talking chicken! Helpful Poultry says with a guilty look. Oh! Bach? That conversation repeats. Hey, don't eat chickens, please. An elder friend of Sam says softly to himself, a spooky middle-aged woman that Sam fears seeing in his dreams so much as of late. Could she be a demon in reality who has come to destroy the elven race, just like the one named Grandis Marwyn? Will this day forever mark the beginning of the end for all of Elvenia? A spooky woman, huh? Foreshadowing? So pay attention to the lanterns and how they're lit. So the outside two are lit, the inside two are not. Use the escape key. Fancy. Elvenians fear the darkness, and so they scrape away at the edges of it with fire, only to open the way to a world of even greater darkness. That is deep. Stripeback says, was that a typo I saw? It's entirely possible. I've seen a few of them so far. Freaking long stairs, man. Okay, these are apparently not the lanterns I need to interact with. These are. Ominous. Well, we found the book. This book that Panaka told us to read from that one priestess, Lisa, I think it was her name? So what are we about to find in... Oh gosh! I just realized there are totally elves under these beds. Well, this might be the most creepy place I've gone into in episode break 4, but we're going to go on an episode break now. And when we come back, I'd hate to say it, but I'm kind of curious if I can interact with all these dead bodies. More importantly, we got a book to read.